Time for the championship final in the women's 400-meter freestyle. Aussie Ariane Titmus grabbed the world record back in winning the world title last summer. In Fukuoka, Japan, Katie Ledecky ran second, but the American legend still the ultimate distance threat. 28 Olympic and world golds combined, including the Rio Olympic title in the 400, won the 800 and 1500 crowns yet again at the Worlds last summer. Already grabbed the 800 free crown here at this meet by 14 seconds. Clearly the favorite in this field, but she will have some tough customers, including Erin Gemmel, University of Texas freshman, U.S. national champ of this event in 2022, fourth at U.S. Nationals last summer. Siobhan Haughey won Olympic silver in the 100 and 200 frees in Tokyo for Hong Kong, former Michigan Wolverine, silver at the Worlds last summer in the 100 free. Leah Smith in lane 3 from Longhorn Aquatics. 3 world medals in this event in her career, silver in 2017 and a pair of world bronzes as well. There's Ledecky, fastest in the heats by over 2.5 seconds for the performer from Gator Swim Club. Summer McIntosh alongside the Canadian teenager, trains at Sarasota Sharks in Florida. Past world record holder in this event, still has the world junior record, 4th in the 400 at Worlds last summer. There's Paige Madden, who swept the 400 and 800 free titles at the Pan Am Games this fall in Santiago, Chile. Anna Peplowski from Indiana University won relay silver with the U.S. at the Worlds last summer. And Kevin Gormson, freshman at Virginia, rounding out our field in lane number 8, Olympic trials finalist in this race from 3 years ago and 6th at the U.S. Nationals last summer. And there's McIntosh Rowdy. Again, she won gold in the 200 fly, the 400 IM last summer at the Worlds as well, but a little bit disappointed with her result in this race. Again, billed as the race of the century between Titmus, Ledecky, and McIntosh, who were the past 3 world record holders going into that championship event.
I think, Jason, when we called that, I think most people thought it was going to be the race of the century, and it ended up not being that much of a race as Titmus just destroyed the field, broke the world record. But, you know, I think this is a race that everybody is kind of pointing to here, and for good reason, with Ledecky and McIntosh. And McIntosh had a tough decision to make this session, because you've got the 200 IM a little bit later on, an event that she could have swum and done very well in too. She chose to swim the 400 free, and I think that's really outstanding of her to say, hey, I want to stand up against the GOAT. I want to get up there and swim against Katie Ledecky again.
Well, the race here last year, the U.S. Open final, is worthy of race of century contention.
Yeah,
they went toe-to-toe down the stretch. Ledecky able to hold her off by 0.08 of a second. We'll see if it sets up for a similar crescendo down the stretch.
You take that 400 individual swim away from McIntosh at those World Championships, where she did finish a disappointing 4th place. Hey, listen, 4th at the Worlds is great, but she was about 3 seconds slower than she'd ever been, or been earlier that summer. I think this is a race that she can win the gold medal in. I really do believe that McIntosh has won. And if you think that Katie Ledecky's not going to be there, you do it at your own demise, because there is no way I'm counting Katie Ledecky out of anything that she swims, because she is the greatest of all time. And nobody's going to argue with me on that, because they're going to lose.
Well, the now 17-year-old Summer McIntosh, who was 14 when she made her Olympic debut and finished 4th in this race in Tokyo. The yellow cap again representing the Sarasota Sharks, where she trains in Florida, with Ledecky tagging along about 3/4 of a second or a second behind, now over a second behind at this juncture.
Yeah, and I'm looking at splits, and that's what you really have to base everything on, and it just doesn't seem like Ledecky has turned into another gear. And she can do this pretty much against anybody in the world and turn it on and go by them, except for McIntosh and Titmus. And now with a full body length behind, I think this is going to be one of those races that you really look to Summer McIntosh and really swimming well. In fact, she's under U.S. Open record pace, and that is, of course, Katie Ledecky, 3:57.94. That's the fastest time on American soil. She's right on that. By the way, Jason, I would love to be talking about a lot of these other swimmers, Leah Smith, Siobhan Hahi. Can you imagine the credentials, Poplawski, the years and careers they've had? But look at the picture. That's one reason why we can't, is because of the two swimmers in the middle of the pool.
And McIntosh has picked it up even more, stretching the lead out almost to a full 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Rowdy, as you touched on, you don't know where anybody is in training as they prepare for the ultimate prize, and that's potentially a spot on the podium in Paris next summer. But this is impressive from McIntosh to this point.
Sure is. Ledecky did outsplit her on that one single 50, but with only 50 meters left to go, the question is how far under can McIntosh go under 4 minutes, and can Ledecky get close to that? I don't think Ledecky's going to be able to break 4 minutes, but McIntosh certainly will.
So Summer McIntosh thriving here ahead of Katie Ledecky, the American, chasing a woman almost a decade her junior down the stretch. Ledecky trying to reel in McIntosh, but the 17-year-old gonna hang on. Last year, Ledecky won in a whisper. This time, McIntosh wins by a bunch here to take the crown at the U.S. Open. Katie Ledecky, solid second. And then everybody else towards the finish. Siobhan Hahi in third and Leah Smith fourth. But the 17-year-old Canadian looking strong.
Yeah, 158.7 going out. I checked that, 157.5. Ledecky was 158.7, 57.5 going out, maybe 202 flat thereabouts coming back. So she did get a little tired. Ledecky, I thought, split it well, around 158.7 going out, and then she was back in 202 plus as well. But you can see side by side, both of them look, I mean, both look solid. Summer just looks on the right-hand side with the yellow cap up there at the top at the 200 turn, just looks a little higher in the water. Ledecky, when she's on, looks much higher. Her aggressiveness with each stroke is much better. I just think Ledecky at the far end to the right side just didn't have the cadence that she normally has. And December's a wacky month, Jason. You know, that's what we said at the very beginning. You were going to see some real true stars come through. They're used to training like this, and then others that need a lot of rest, like Ledecky, now at 26 years of age. So
Summer McIntosh sets a championship record here at the U.S. Open Championships by cracking that 4-minute mark at 3:59.42. Ledecky, Hahi, Smith, and Patton finishing off the top 5. Let's go downstairs to Kira K. Dixon, standing by with our winner.
Well, Jason, Summer McIntosh is a U.S. Open champion and a new record holder as well. What were your thoughts when you looked up and saw the time?
Overall, I'm pretty happy with that race. I mean, it's the first long course meet for the season, so I was just really excited going into it and didn't really know what to expect. So I'm overall pretty happy with it, and I'll just kind of learn from this and kind of start to move forward for the rest of the year.
Rowdy mentioned that you could have swum the 200 IM tonight, but you decided to swim the 400 free. What went into that decision for you?
It was a lot of things, but since I'm swimming the 400 IM, I already have a kind of IM event tomorrow, so I'm really excited for that. So I wanted to get in another good 400 freestyle experience at this meet, especially with all the amazing competitors in the pool.
You mentioned learning experiences. I want to go back to Japan this summer. This event challenged you. What learning experiences did you take from that you will continue to apply, especially as we start looking towards the Olympics?
Yeah, so many things. After that race, I learned a lot about how to get back out after it. And I had so many races after that I was really happy with. So no matter how bad one race is, you can really just get back up and kind of get back into it.
Thanks, Summer. Congratulations.
Thank you.